Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. It is me, your benevolent ruler, the Goose King. Today, we are playing in a Minecraft hardcore survival world. I quickly started by gathering sticks. Oh boy, I love sticks. Once I had grabbed the sticks, I quickly gathered nearby sugarcane. Once I had the sugarcane, I began gathering wood for my new house. This is footage of me mining my very first tree. Once I had finished mining the tree, I quickly turned the wood into planks for my very first crafting table. With that done, I proceeded to make an axe for gathering wood faster and a sword to hunt for food more easily. I then grabbed my crafting table with my axe to continue gathering wood. I proceeded to gather a few trees in the forest as well as some seeds for a future farm. I then decided on a home, which would be on the Orange Plateau just over there. Having decided where to build, I crafted a door for my house and began building. Moving quickly, I finished the frame of my house first before continuing with the walls. Once the walls were done, I began on the roof, and before long, I only had one block left. With this last block, I had finished my house. Wasting no time, I moved my crafting table inside. In the distance, I saw a cave for mining, but I needed a pickaxe first. I gathered sticks to craft it, planted my sugarcane, and then gathered the wood needed to finish. Just like that, I had my pick. On my way to the cave, I had a disagreement with a fish, so I ate it. Once I had arrived at the cave, I destroyed a spawner I'd found outside. Then I mined the webs around it for string. All in all, it was a pretty good find. Next, I ventured inside the cave in search of useful material, but I was spooked by the darkness, so I turned tail and ran back outside. Once outside, I began gathering stone for a furnace. As I was mining, I found a small vein of iron, but I needed a stone pickaxe to mine it, and it was getting late, so I returned home. Once home, I crafted a furnace which I placed by my crafting table, a stone sword, a fishing rod, and a bow. I then had a disagreement with more fish and killed them for food. Having their bodies, I returned home to cook them for further sustenance and then eat them. Having no bed, I patiently waited for the next day. Just before morning came, a zombie showed up offering Girl Scout cookies. I politely declined. I later watched him burn to death. Stepping outside, I was greeted by a rude spider that bit me, but I easily fended it off, killing my very first monster. I ate food to celebrate. After that, I gathered some stone for tools and some wood for fuel. I began cooking more fish as I made a stone pickaxe to mine the nearby iron. I got 4 pieces. I then returned home and grabbed the cooked fish. I would need it on my journey to find sheep. On my journey, I found watermelons that were just sitting outside. I grabbed them without a second thought. I then grabbed bamboo that I found in the jungle, just in case I ever happened to need it. As I traveled, I came across a racist pig. I quickly killed it for the sake of world peace. Along with the pig was an innocent cow, but I couldn't leave any witnesses. The most surprising part of my journey, however, was a jungle temple that I accidentally stumbled across. Inside, I triggered one of the traps, injuring myself with an arrow, but I hardly felt a thing. Once I got to the end, I quickly looted the chest and stole the arrows and the dispensers. Since there was nothing left inside, I left the temple to continue on my journey. After searching until sunset with no avail, however, I was forced to swim home. Once I was home safe, I began smelting iron as I prepared to wait out the long night. Before the wait began, however, I made a chest to store my belongings in. After all, my inventory was getting slightly full. Just like the previous night, I was offered Girl Scout cookies. I declined once more. I later watched the skeleton burn to death when the sun rose. Stepping outside, I was greeted by a not so itsy bitsy spider and proceeded to slay it. I then went on to kill his best friend, Dave. With the spiders dead, it was time for me to continue my search for sheep. On my search for sheep, I grabbed red flowers that I could turn into dye for my bed when I crafted it. Along with the dye, I also grabbed some pumpkins. As I continued forward, I stumbled upon a ruined nether portal. I quickly looted all of the valuables before continuing on my way. After traveling a bit further, I finally found what I had been looking for. Sheep. 3 sheep. Seeing as I had all I needed, I began my journey home. Once I got home, I began crafting a shield, an item that would immensely help in my objective of not dying. The shield having been crafted, I proceeded to make a bed next. being sure to make it the classic red color. I then placed it snugly in the corner and ate some cooked fish. Yummy. With one important job done, I went out to gather more wood, as well as expand my sugarcane. With the wood I had gathered, I began making charcoal for torches, along with a chest for increased storage. Beautiful. With my chest created and my inventory somewhat emptied, I began placing torches to light up my house. I then took my very first nap. When I woke up, I began work on my next project, a strip mine. While mining, I came across some copper, but since I didn't need it, I ignored it. I continued mining for a little while longer until my pickaxe broke. It was time to head back up to the surface. When I arrived back on the surface, I began gathering a dirt for a farm I could place by my house. I then grabbed my bucket so I could set to work immediately. I started by mining out a frame, then I placed in all the dirt, and finally I added in the water. With the farm made, I began tilling the dirt and planting the seeds. Nice. With nothing urgent needing my attention, I replaced my floor with cobblestone because it looks nice. After that, I began planting bamboo around my house. Who knows, that might look nice too. Since I was already trying to make things look nice, I started beating up the bush because I think it doesn't look nice. After beating around the bush for a bit, the sun had gone down and it was time to sleep. The next day, I added stone steps to my roof. They look kind of ugly, but I'm keeping them. Every home needs one ugly feature after all. After the house, I grabbed enough seeds to fill up my garden. Food should never be an issue now. I also decided to plant some melons. Yummy. With the day coming to a close, I decided to sleep. The next day, I added a trap door to my rooftop access, something I added off camera. And by off camera, I mean I accidentally cut it out and was too lazy to re-add it. Next, I made a pool, because why not? Somehow, a population of fish got inside. Next, I added some slabs around my pool, because again, why not? Finally, to end the video, I watched the sun set.